to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Molly. I am mum of 3. Me and my husband Phil have Noah, who is 9, Rosie, who's just turned 7, and our little Caspian is 2. Well, he'll be 3 next month actually. And we travel with our kids a lot, but we also travel without them. Like, we've just been to Abu Dhabi, me and Phil, just by ourselves for 6 days. And so I've just finished the Abu Dhabi vlogs. If you want to go back to my channel and check those out, do that now. I'll pause for you. Okay, if you've just watched those, then welcome back. Our next holiday is on the P&O's cruise ship Avia. I'm so excited. We're going with my family this time, and they've not really cruised before, some of them ever. And so I'm really excited to show them how a cruise works. But until that vlog series starts, I thought I would do a little packing tips kind of video, and the things that we always bring and the things that we just don't really bother bringing ever, since we have travelled around 10 times a year with our kids since they were tiny. So I feel like this comes from a place that I know what I'm talking about now. I feel like I've got my craft down to an art. But let me know in the comments if you think I've missed anything or that you don't agree with what I've said. Okay, we'll start off with stuff that I always bring on holiday. Number 1, if your kids are still in nappies, I always make sure that I bring enough nappies for the whole time. That's for any kind of holiday. I just always make sure I have enough for the whole time. I know some people really like to order some to collect at the airport, or they plan to buy some out there. We never do that. Number 1, I don't want to have to rely on any of these places having the right brand of nappy if you're sensitive, or, well, if you're child sensitive, or having any at all or in the right size. I don't want to have to rely on any of that. And I also don't want to take time out of my holiday when I could be enjoying myself going to buy nappies. So I would rather just get an extra big case and keep it all in the case. I was going to do one now, but it is my absolute top tip to bring if you have little ones. So I might wait for that for the end. Something that I do always bring is enough snacks for the flight there, while you are there on your holiday, and the flight back, especially for my little one. For example, on cruise ships and that kind of stuff, it's not as easy to find snack-worthy food items that my little one would eat. Maybe a bread roll, but that's about it. Or some fruit, actually. But if I want to make sure that he's going to eat something that I know he likes and that it's easy to be able to take off the ship with us, or if we're in the parks in Disney, to be able to take the Disney parks with us, I bring snacks myself. I don't want to have to be spending about $6 on a packet of crisps. And yeah, don't forget about the flight home as well. The next thing that I always make sure that I bring on holiday is, don't forget your flight home outfit. I always make sure this is the comfiest clothes that all of us own. And I make sure that it's a separate outfit than the one we've planned to wear on the way out. This is because if they have an accident on the way there, they spill food down themselves, whatever it is, if they use it as like a comfy clothing in the room, then it's going to get mucky, and you maybe don't want to have to do laundry, or you might not be able to do laundry. And so it's good to just bring some anyway. And then you feel like you're fresh and comfortable and clean, ready for the flight home, because you already don't want to be doing that, do you? So at least if you're clean and comfortable, then you're good. The next thing I always make sure that we bring with us is enough medicine. This is for us and the kids. So for us, paracetamol, ibuprofen, antihistamines, Rennies, ulcer cream is another one. We always seem to get ulcers when we're on holiday. Travelling just makes us get ulcers in our mouth. I don't know. So always make sure that we've got enough for me and Phil. Our medicine bag is full. And for the kids as well, so ibuprofen, paracetamol, and then Rennies and stuff for them if they have a sore tummy. And plasters too. The last thing you want is to not bring enough. You're struggling with a headache, a migraine, period pains, your kid's really ill, whatever it may be, and you don't have enough. You don't want to either have to fork out loads of money or have to go really far to be able to get the right kind of medicine for you guys, or deal with language barriers, that kind of stuff. So I always just make sure I pack plenty, because worst comes to worst, you bring it home with you and use it back at home. The next thing I always bring is extra goggles. I don't know what my kids do with them, but they lose a pair of goggles at least once every holiday. And so if I've got plenty, then we're never gonna have to worry about it, because they will not swim underwater without goggles. And so then they don't want to go in the pool if they can't go underwater. So bring extras. Talking of which, If we ever go on a cruise that goes from Southampton, I always make sure that I bring a pool bag of swimming things for us to use once we're on board. And so then it has to be in your hand luggage or like an extra bag to bring onto the ship with you. Don't pack it in your suitcase because you might not see that suitcase for ages. Same goes if you're doing a fly cruise and you're planning to be on the ship earlier in the day and you're going to have loads of time to kill, and then you might want to be able to go in the pool. So bring some swim stuff. The next thing I always make sure I bring is an outfit for every single day. Maybe an extra, but to be honest, we don't ever really use it. I sometimes bring my least favourite outfit of my toddler's and I put that in his changing bag, his travel bag, for just in case we need a spare outfit any day. You know your kids best. Mine don't ever really need a spare outfit, but yours might. So I don't really bother with a spare outfit other than the one in the changing bag on the flight there, and then I can just use it for the rest of the time as a spare if we need it. But I do make sure that we've got one outfit every day. We may not get it dirty, but if you do, you don't want to rely on having a certain t-shirt to use twice and then it gets mucky and then you can't use it or it gets lost or whatever it might be. Just have an outfit every day. I wouldn't rely on having to use especially tops 2-3 times or to wash them, because again, you don't want to be doing laundry on holiday. Bottoms, however, I do plan to use a couple of bottoms twice, but I always make sure I bring plenty that will still go with the tops that are with that outfit so that they can still use them even if the pants do get mucky. I also, a little extra one here, is when my toddler was a baby, he wouldn't settle in a room with us very well. If we were on the ship or if we're in Disney or in just a normal hotel and he didn't want to sleep very well because he knew we were in the room with him, then I wanted to have some kind of familiarity. And so I would bring his cot sheet from home and I would put it over the cot that he's sleeping in the hotel. And then I would make sure I either write a note or tell the cabin steward or whoever is looking after our room not to take and wash his sheet because it's from home. And then it's just got a familiar smell as well. And the last thing, my biggest tip, this is mainly for if you've got like an under 2-year-old, we've mainly used it for. I haven't used it in a while, but in those 2 years, I used it a lot. An eye mask. I cannot bang on about an eye mask enough. Sorry, I thought the postman was coming in. An eye mask will be your best friend to make sure that your child sleeps. For the plane, we would just cuddle our toddler, whichever child we were. I mean, we've used eye masks for all 3 of our children now. And we would just pop it on and they may fight for a minute, but it would always get them to sleep. Like, an eye mask is just the best thing ever. And then we would also use it when we're on holiday. You know, if they're in the pram or wherever, then it would always get them to sleep so much quicker than just ferrying them around in the pram. It's like £2, £3 on Amazon for a pack of 2. You know, try it. Okay, here are the things I never really bother bringing on holiday. First thing we never bring is foreign currency. I mean, we've got a pack of these dollars. I don't even know when they were from because we never use dollars. The only exception to this is if we are going on a Caribbean cruise, which we do every January of every time, and we want to be able to have some money to pay for taxis that may only take cash. Other than that, nowhere that we go doesn't take cards, so we never need cash. And so we always used to find that we would just have loads of extra cash and we would just kind of spend it because it was there, or we just took it home and then it was just sat in a drawer like this for ages. And so then it's kind of a waste of money, really. So we only ever use our cards. The next thing we personally don't ever bring, though you may, is insect repellent. We never really tend to use it because on a cruise, for example, we're never really outside much in the evenings. And if so, we never really get bitten. If we're at Disney, we never find there's any mosquitoes. Like, what is that? Is that Disney magic? How do they not have mosquitoes at Disney? And then if we're ever in a hotel on holiday, we would look at reviews and stuff. And if it says that there might be mosquitoes, then we might bring some, but maybe we just don't really get bitten much that we're lucky. But actually saying this, I did get bitten in Abu Dhabi. I didn't bring any insect repellent, so. Third one, I only ever bring this to Disney World. I would never bring it on any other kind of holiday, and that is a fan. I don't really understand bringing them on any other kind of holidays. If you're walking around Disney, if you've been to Florida, then you know how hot it gets. You're walking around, there's not much relief from the heat, and so at least if you've got a portable fan, then it's much easier to stay cool. However, if I'm just on a hot holiday by the beach or something, I would just go inside and get a drink, or I would sit under the umbrella or get in the pool. I wouldn't ever use a portable fan. So I wouldn't waste your space in your packing on a portable fan. The next thing I would never bring, even when my little ones were really little babies, I still would never bring a sling, like, you know, like a baby carrier. We never really use it. I saw some tips before that they're great for going through the airport, and then they would check their pram. At check-in, they would check in their pram there and then just use a sling through the airport. I don't understand that. Surely it's so much easier to have your pram. They're contained, it's not hurting your back, and you've got somewhere to put all your bags and stuff. And you also can't use a sling when you're going through security because they need to scan the sling. So we've never used them in airports, and we never really want to use them on holidays because we only ever really do hot holidays. And so it's just a bit hot and sweaty and sticky if you've got a baby stuck to you, and it's also harder for them to be staying in the shade. Whereas if they're in the pram, then they've got the hood. So we would never bring a sling on holiday. Would you bring a sling on holiday? Let me know in the comments. We also don't ever print off holiday documents. We have a travel agent, and she kindly gives us this beautiful little envelope of documents. We sometimes take it, sometimes don't, but we find we never ever need a printed evidence of what we've got. There's Wi-Fi, there's 5G, 4G, mobile data, whatever, screenshots on phones to be able to show evidence if we need anything, but we never ever need any of that, even from our phones. Like, it's all just done electronically, digitally. Everyone just knows that you've got an ESTA because it's through there. Like, everyone knows that you've actually paid for this flight because it's come up on their screen. Like, so we never bring printed documents. And the last thing that we never really bother bringing on our holidays with our little ones is sunglasses. Maybe for the older two, maybe, but I try and get them to wear hats, sun hats, like a little cap. And so that kind of shades their face enough anyway. They never complain or want to have sunglasses, and if they ever do, it's the older ones. So I would maybe bring some for the older ones, not for my toddler. He wouldn't keep them on for longer than a minute. And so it's just kind of pointless. He would rather have a little hat on, and that covers his eyes anyway. Would you bring sunglasses for your little ones? I feel like they're about $5 and a bit of a waste of money. I'd rather spend that $5 on a hat. Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything. And I may be planning a packing video for our Avia cruise. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Because like I said, that's our next holiday. So that is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? Let me just check 1 second. So by the time this video goes out, it'll be just over 2 weeks before we go on Avia, which I'm so excited about. And we'll be filming all of our holiday plans for that cruise in the next few days, so keep an eye out for that. There may also be something exciting in that video too, a little announcement, so keep your eyes peeled. And don't forget to subscribe, it helps me massively. And also, if you could give this video a thumbs up and a comment, it would mean the world. Thanks guys, bye!